Should we talk about some Percy Jackson?
I think we should, because it was a very good episode.
It was. But
Oh.
I do have an issue.
Oh.
And it's been growing over the last few weeks. And I think this week was kind of a pinnacle of that problem. And I also don't feel like I'm crazy because I'm seeing other people saying they have the exact same problem. I didn't know if it was just me.
Okay.
They seem to be in a rush. In the sense of each episode has got like a runtime of 38 minutes because it's on Disney Plus that comes out at like 32 minutes.
Mm.
And they seem to be cutting a lot of stuff. It feels very jumpy between episodes, especially. And they seem to be cutting a lot of stuff. And when you're adapting a book into a film, everyone accepts you're going to have to cut a lot of stuff because a book is however big and then a film's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So you accept that. And they work really hard to make sure they don't cut anything too crucial, and so on and so forth. But the whole selling point of this being a TV show is supposed to be we can do a much more
true to the book,
accurate and true to the book storytelling. And granted, as we said, we've never read the books, but it felt like it was in a bit of a rush to me anyway, which felt weird. And then I'm seeing book fans going, they have cut so much stuff. And even the stuff they haven't cut, because obviously they still have to cut some bits, but the stuff that stayed in, they've shrunk down.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, for instance, the one I heard about this episode, so he arrives at Krusty's bed place.
Yes.
In the book, apparently he doesn't know who Krusty is straight away.
Right, okay.
He pieces that together. And apparently in the book, Krusty manages to trap Annabeth and Grover. And then Percy has to outsmart him to get him to lay on a bed himself.
Right.
Yeah? Whereas instead, this time, Percy's come in, he knows exactly who he is. Annabelle's got a cap on and pushed him onto a bed.
Yeah. I did think that was like, they already have a plan for this guy and we're jumping straight in.
We didn't even know he existed last episode, and now.
Yeah.
So, like, stuff like that. Apparently, by the sounds of it in the books, Percy didn't work out Kronos was involved until much later. So Percy just kind of stood there and all of a sudden it all clicking. A lot of the fans of the books were like, how's he got there? The big thing I'm seeing from a lot of the book fans, and I can't talk about that, I can only talk about like how choppy it's felt at times.
Yeah.
Is they feel like a lot of the stuff where we get to be like impressed by Percy, by him doing something, they're instead kind of pivoting towards he just knows. He just knows for whatever reason. And the big thing that I'm seeing a lot of people say, and whether we agree with that or not, is completely different. But it's kind of like a rule one of storytelling is show, don't tell. But this show seems to be telling more than it's showing.
I've seen some fans of like the book saying almost I think because of this stuff, it's losing its tension. Like there is no like, oh shit, what are they going to do it for that? It's like, oh, they already have the solution. It's like the thing I saw after last week was the thing with the beads. Apparently in the books, he's given the 3, which I think we might have discussed.
Yeah, we said, I remembered from the film they only had 3 there, and
so
I didn't
apparently
know which
that
one was right.
Was in the book that he was only given 3. And then there's this whole like, oh shit, how are we going to deal with it? So then it was almost like this episode, because you said that, and then I've seen stuff, I was like, okay, at some point they're going to lose a pearl. Like something's going to happen, there's going to be 1 pearl short, and it's going to be an issue. And then it's like, Grover gets temporarily eaten by Cerberus, and it's like, okay, he's lost the pearl there. Now we don't want to deal with it. But then they have like this bit of an out anyway, that it wasn't an issue.
And like there was no plot reason for him to get temporarily eaten by Cerberus, other than why would Cerberus grab him just to keep him in his mouth, which is a bit weird. But anyway, he seems to have just done that just so they could lose the pearl.
Yeah.
But if you just want them to lose the pearl in such a nothing way,
Just don't give it him.
Why give them the extra pearl in the first place?
Yeah.
And also, I'm pretty sure in the books they don't go into hell, then leave again, then go back.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, that
Because
stuff.
I'm pretty sure the whole point of the 3 pearls was they go in, they deliberate who leaves, whoever leaves. I don't know who leaves in the book. They leave, and then whoever's left behind deals with something, and then finds another way out. Whereas this time they've used the pearls already to get out, and now
Yeah.
they're going to have to get back in to see Hades again.
Which, yeah, and like, it
I
just
don't know
felt.
if it's the way they've adapted it, or the editing decisions, or the directorial decisions. What I will say is that all of the acting has been really, really good.
Mm,
So I struggle to believe that they've shot all this extra stuff and then gone, oh, that's not good enough. We should cut that. Because all the actors have been brilliant.
it's almost as if they've gone, we want to reach this point on the finale and have this big reveal. How do we get there in between? And they're like, well, we've got this many episodes, we've got to fit all of this to happen. So I guess we chop that, we chop that, we chop that. He knows that stuff, and then that gets rid of that issue of him having to figure it out.
Yeah.
They've done stuff like that because they've kind of started off with an end point. In which case, then it's like, they should have done more episodes, and it would have kept more of a feel of the book. But then this is Disney Plus; they're not doing lots of episodes.
I think they could have solved all of their issues by making each episode an hour, which would have been like 50 minutes after Disney
longer
Plus
episodes.
and give us 2 more episodes. Make it 10-hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
And that gives you on each episode where you're telling like the sort, because like the actual concept of each episode is fine, but that extra 15 minutes allows you to have a bit more to just make it feel like Percy's doing something.
Yeah.
And then you have 2 extra episodes that you don't have to rush so much.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But I mean, I'm still really enjoying the show, which is like, it is a good show.
Mm-hmm.
And would I even know if it wasn't for the fact that so many of the book fans are being such brilliant fans and talking about it? Would I notice these issues? Maybe not. But at the end of the day, the book fans are the reason that the book was successful enough to warrant a show.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be a pretty common consensus amongst them that they're changing more than they need to. Someone I saw described it as a Rick Riordan disliked the film so much. Any decision where it can be, oh, the film did that, he's going the opposite way, even if that part of the film wasn't a problem.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like, he said he doesn't want to do anything like the film did it. Which is almost like, has he gone a bit too extreme, maybe? Possibly. But like you say, it's still, like, the acting's been great. The show's still enjoyable. The visuals as well, I will say, like, for them being in the underworld and stuff, like, all the visuals for that was very well done.
Yep.
Now, you've mentioned a couple of times, you're waiting for me to spot something. And I don't know if this episode is me spotting something that you've been waiting for me to, like, bring up.
Okay,
but the shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Is Luke a rat?
Is Luke a rat?
Because those shoes were clearly trying to get someone killed.
Were they? Or was just Kronos being daddy of the gods? Like, did he just spot the magic of the shoes?
But then why didn't he spot all the other? But why didn't he spot all the other magical god items that they have? Why just the shoes? And also, those shoes were meant to be on Percy's feet.
Were they?
Well, Luke gave them to Percy.
Yeah, I am curious how why Percy's referring to them as Grover's shoes. Because at no point did we see Percy give them to Grover.
No, but he did give them to Grover.
Did he? When?
When was it he needed the shoes to fly for something? Oh, the Medusa bit. He gave them to Grover. I can't remember why.
We could fly up and hide. You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
So then Grover's kept them since. So, but like, Luke gave them to Percy.
He did.
I don't know. I get this feeling that, like, only because they've come from Luke, I'm like, Luke's a rat. he also doesn't like his dad, so he would probably do something to.
But does that mean he's not like his granddad anymore?
No, but you don't know. I don't know. This is just me throwing stuff.
Theorizing. Just a bit more. I mean, even if Luke is the rat, maybe he's not anymore. That we've seen how much apparently the show's changed stuff.
True. Annabeth also regrets something, which I'm like,
I
she's
assume that's to
hiding
do with
something.
Thalia.
Possibly.
I assume so.
I was either that or there's something she hasn't told Percy, which is why she was so keen for them to go, because she didn't want to pry into it.
I like to think right now there's someone who's read all the books who's like screaming at us. So I'm just going to say something to show that I am like paying a bit of attention to the fandom.
Okay.
So, by the sounds of it, at some point in the series of books, and maybe if the show gets enough series during the show, we're going to deal with Roman godchildren as well.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Does that mean?
Because like, I'm pretty sure I saw something about different camps other than Camp Half-Blood.
Okay.
And I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was something about a camp that had a name that I like. And I saw it was like, instead of Zeus, it had what's the Roman equivalent to Zeus? Roman equivalent of Zeus? Jupiter. Yeah, Camp Jupiter. I saw something about Camp Jupiter.
Interesting.
And I'll tell you why I know that. I only know that because of the statues you had to collect in the second Assassin's Creed game. So I think later on we might have to deal with Roman half-bloods, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Does that mean we can get Nordic half-bloods?
Maybe. Who knows? But I mean, I always thought the Roman gods were the same as the Greek gods, and they just had different names for them. So maybe that's also just like a book that was released in a different language where they used them names instead.
Maybe, I don't know.
But that's just something that maybe is worth keeping an eye out for. I don't know. Okay. Again, I might be getting shouted at like I'm a fucking idiot right now. Or
also, I mean, my brain immediately. So when Hades was like, oh, my helmet has gone missing and it makes you invisible.
Yeah.
I was like, Annabeth's cap.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I thought that exact same thing as well.
Because like, although she says it was a gift from her mother, there's no like she could have lied.
But also, Ares says she gets that he's quite annoyed by his sister a lot as well. And she's like the goddess of wisdom, and everyone talks about her like as powerful as the big three, but she's like shunned from the big three. So, mate, I honestly don't know.
But obviously, like, my brain was like, is Annabeth hiding something? But then the backpack was Ares, because obviously the bolt turns out is in there.
It feels like very much two sides to this war that hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, and then Ares obviously was waiting for them on the beach, which is suspicious at the end. I enjoyed the flashback though of showing his mother and Poseidon talking.
I assume Poseidon appears in the next episode alongside them on the beach. Otherwise, the ending montage makes zero sense.
Well, something tells me like maybe Ares is walking and then he turns up to protect them.
All I'm saying is I wouldn't attack the clearly very powerful and very headstrong son of the god of the sea on a beach.
Yeah, true. Unless he's not going to attack them. Maybe he's just walking up to go talk to them.
Yeah, the war god is known for his chatting.
Well, maybe he's got a different plan for them.
A battle of the words.
But I'm interested to see what happens in episode 8.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very curious. I hope we don't get a Disney Plus Marvel style issue of me being very angry with the pacing.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see as well. Maybe as this seems to have been successful for them, maybe season 2, if it gets greenlit, is a bit longer, and maybe that helps them address some of these issues.
I struggle to believe it would have been so much more expensive bearing in mind like the budget they were setting per episode was like $15 million. I don't know what you're spending $15 million an episode on.
CGI.
Like but it's not that outrageous.
Grover's legs just alone.
Do you know what I mean? So I would much rather that 15 times 8 is 120. So do like 12 million for 10. There you go. I've saved you $6 million and giving you 2 episodes. You're welcome. Accounting is so easy. Like, come on. But yeah,